Yesterday we will discuss that combination of cells. We have completed a series combination of various cells. Now we'll start the parallel combination of cells. So first we will take all the cell are identical EMF, and then in second case we will take that the cell is of different EMF. So now first we will consider that let there is n cell of each EMF E. So now we draw a diagram. For example, this is the first cell, this is second cell, and that is nth cell. So this is C1 first cell, this is C2 second cell, and that is Cn, that is the nth cell. And all these are connected with a external resistance R. So there are 1, 2 up to n. So there are n cell connected in parallel with each other, and they connect the external resistance R, and each of cell having resistance small r, means that I have EMF E and resistance small r. This is also EMF E resistance small r. This is also EMF E and resistance small r. So now if that circuit is open, if we connect a voltmeter with this, so all these cells are in parallel. So when these are in parallel, so all having the same EMF, so their potential is equal to E. So here comes out to be the effective EMF of the combination is equal to, means the effective EMF of all these n cell is equal to the one of only the EMF of one cell, means E effective is equal to E, means when there are more than one cell connected in parallel with each other, so their effective EMF, means their net EMF, is equal to the EMF of the one of the cell. Similarly, there are the how many resistors? There are n resistors, all are connected in parallel, so their net resistance, means R net or R effective, is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus up to 1 upon Rn. So these all are of resistance R. So it comes out to be 1 upon R plus 1 upon R up to 1 upon R. So it comes out to be N upon R. So R 1 upon R effective is equal to N upon R, and R effective comes out to be R by N. So now from that combination it is clear that when n cells are connected in parallel, so their net EMF is equal to the EMF of one of the cell. So now we have to find the I for this combination. So now the net resistance of that combination. So external is R, internal is R by N. So net resistance is R plus R by N. So this is the net resistance. So we have to find the I of that combination. So if we want to find the I, so what is I? What is I? I is equal to V by R. So what is V? All these are connected in parallel. Their effective resistance, their effective EMF is equal to E, one of the cell. And what is their net resistance? The net resistance is R plus R by N. So now this is the current for that combination. Now there are again two cases. Again, if R is greater than small r, if R is greater than small r, so now this term is neglected. And again we will take its LCM, that comes out to be E by R NR plus R divided by N, and that N came upside. Clear? So here comes out to be I comes out to be NE. So if that is very small, so this is neglected, so that comes out to be N capital R. So this N cancel with N, so I comes out to be E by R. So what is this? This is the current for one cell. E is the one of the EMF and R is the resistance. Now case number 2. If R is greater than capital R, if R is greater than capital R. So I comes out to be E divided by R plus R by L. So now this R is very small, so we neglect it, and it comes out to be N E by R. N E by R. So if we will take this, so if this is the for one cell and there is a N, so means N time of the EMF of one cell. So these are the two cases for the when identical cells are connected with each other in a parallel. In the next part we will discuss when the various cell of different EMF are connected with each other, what is their net EMF and what is their resistance. Now we will start different cells in parallel. Different cell in parallel. Different means all these cells have their different EMF. So we'll take example ki this is your first cell, clear, and this is internal resistance, so its EMF is E1 and resistance is R1, clear, and this is your second cell, its EMF is E2 and internal resistance is R2. So these are connected with parallel to each other. So now in that case we have to find their net EMF and net resistance. So first of all, so again let I1 be the current flowing through it and I2 be the current flowing through it, clear. So I1 for that cell and I2 for that cell. So now we know that key for a parallel combination the I is equal to I1 plus I2. So we have a relation that ki V is equal to E minus IR. So now implement on the first cell and also on the second cell. So now we also know that ki the V for the parallel combination is same. So if V is the potential for both the cell and both are combined in parallel, so their V is same. So here comes out to be V is equal to E1 minus I1 R1, clear. This is for first cell, and similarly V is equal to E2 minus I1 R2 for second cell. So now from this you will find the value of I1 and I2 and put in this. So what is the value of I1? I1 comes out to be, take this term on that side and V on that side. So I1 R1 is equal to E1 minus V. So I1 comes out to be E1 minus V divided by R1. Similarly, the I2 comes out to be E2 minus V divided by R2. So what is net I? So net I is equal to I1 plus I2. What is I1? I1 is E1 minus V divided by R1 plus E2 minus V divided by R2. Now rearrange it. So when we rearrange it, so after rearranging, I am writing here what happened after the rearrangement of that. So I is equal to E1 upon में R1 minus V upon में R1 plus E2 upon में R2 minus V upon में R2. Now take that value combined. So E1 plus E1 upon में R1 divide by E2 upon में R2. Now from these two terms take minus V common. So if we take minus V common, the inside comes out to be 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2, that is equal to I. So this is the value of I. But we know that at the end we have to compare this term with the standard equation. The standard equation is V is equal to E minus R IR. So that is V, that is E effective here, and that R is R effective. Means we have to compare with this standard equation. So this equation is in I. So we have to change in it V. So now take that I on that side and V on that side. So V into 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 is equal to, that is equal to E1 upon में R1 plus E2 upon में R2, that is a plus, and on that side it comes out to be minus. So now we have to find the value of V. So if we want to find the value of V, this term goes on that side. So first we solve it. What is value came? So I'm going to take the LCM comes out to be R1, R2 upside comes out to be R2 plus R1. And now take LCM also here. Here comes out to be R1 into my R2, and here comes out to E1 R2 plus E2 R1. We take LCM, that is R2, that is R1 minus I. Clear? Now take that term on that side. So when V is here and when this term goes on that side, it comes out to be E1 R2 plus E2 R1 divided by R1 R2 minus I. This whole term is divided by, what is here? Here is R1 R2 R1 plus R2. So we know that on that side it becomes reciprocal. So here comes out to be, or simply you will write here when we solve it, this whole term is divided by both this term. Here I am writing V is equal to E1 R2 plus E2 R1 divided by R1 R2. So when this whole term is divided by this, so that R1 R2 came up, so here comes out to be R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2 or R2 plus R1. So this cancel with this. Now here is minus I. So now with that I, again this whole term also divide this. So here comes out to be R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So at the end the V comes out to be E1 R1 plus E2 R2 and E2 R1 divided by R1 plus R2 minus I into R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Now compare this equation with the standard equation. The standard equation V is equal to E minus IR. So this is effective E and this R is effective R. Means net E, net R. When we compare these equations, so while comparing these equations, that comes out to be, compare it. So what is the value of E effective? The E effective comes out to be E1 R2 plus E2 R1 divided by R1 plus R2. Compare this with this. And now that I cancel with I. And what is R effective? So R effective comes out to be, what is this value? R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So this is your E effective and this is also R effective. R effective you can check also that the two cells which are connected that are in parallel. So in parallel their net resistance means R effective is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. So their LCM comes out to be R1 R2. Here comes out to be R2 plus R1. So this is the value of R effective. So when we take the reciprocal of that term, it will become R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So this is your final result. When the various cells of different EMF are connected in parallel with each other, the net EMF is E1 R2 plus E2 R1 divided by R1 plus R2 and their effective resistance comes out to be R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Now the next, Kirchhoff law. See what is Kirchhoff law and why that law is in your syllabus. Previously that if we want to find the value of V and I, means if we want to find the current for a circuit or potential for a circuit, we simply use Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. For that the complex circuit, means there is a complex circuit, for that circuit we want to find the value of V or I for that circuit. So there give a Kirchhoff law. So Kirchhoff give two laws. So there are the two laws. The first law of Kirchhoff. So first we will discuss Kirchhoff first law. First law. So what is first law? We will discuss with the diagram. For example, there are 1, 2, 3. Clear? So this is first, second, third. This is current I1. That is current I2. That is current I3. This is a point A, where these current I1, I2, I3 reaches. And similarly, this is I4. So what is Kirchhoff law? Kirchhoff law states that the algebraic sum of all the current enter at a point or enter at a junction is equal to the algebraic sum of the current leaves that junction. For example, if we take here one more point, here is that I5. So what is that law? That law states that as much current reach to the circuit and same amount of current is also leave the circuit. So what is that law? कि जितना करंट किसी पॉइंट पे आएगा उतना ही करंट उसको लीव करेगा. मीन्स algebraic sum of the current entering to a junction point is equal to the algebraic sum of the current leave the junction point. What is the meaning of that? This state that ki I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to I4 plus I5. Or one more point, the algebraic sum of all the current entering or all the current leave the circuit is equal to 0. What is the meaning of that? If we take I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus minus I4 plus minus I5 is equal to 0. One more point, the current reach to a junction is taken as positive and the current leave to a point or a junction is taken as a negative. So you will write in two forms, ki algebraic sum of all the current entering the circuit or leaving the circuit is equal to 0, or current enter the circuit or current enter a junction point is equal to current leave the junction point. So this is your Kirchhoff first law. Now the next is Kirchhoff second law. What is state Kirchhoff second law? Now we will discuss second law. What is second law? The second law states that ki sum of all the voltage and sum of all the EMF, or we can say the algebraic sum of all the voltage and all the EMF of a closed circuit is 0. What is the meaning of that? For example, if we take a simple circuit, ki this is a circuit, this is EMF E here and I current start from here. So this is a closed circuit. So what is second law? If I current here, its resistance is R. Its resistance is R. So what is the voltage of that? If you want to find the voltage, V for that. So V is equal to, what is V? That V is IR. That V is IR. Means sum of all the voltage and all the EMF of a closed circuit is 0. Means summation of IR plus summation of E is 0. So this is the Kirchhoff second law. Kirchhoff second law states that ki the sum of all the voltage, or we can say that summation of del V plus summation of E is equal to 0. And this we have discussed in detail ki how these laws are implemented. So we will take the example, and by using that example we will find that ki how the Kirchhoff law are used to find the V and I for a circuit. So now how Kirchhoff law is used to find V and I. First we will take a simple example and we find that ki how the Kirchhoff law is implemented. So now we will take a circuit. There is a two cell, one is of 3 volt, one is of 1.5 volt, and there is a two resistance, one is of 2 ohm and there is of 3 ohm. Clear, connected in a circuit. So let I be the current start flowing through that. Clear. Now we have to first we will give the name of that circuit. For example, the name is A, B, C, D. So this is the name of the circuit. Now we have to apply the Kirchhoff law on that. How that law is applied. First of all, you have to choose a loop. So I will choose loop here. Loop A, B, C, D, A. The loop is A, B, C, D, A. So first we choose loop A, B, C, D, A. We have to apply the Kirchhoff law on that. So first of all, that you have to see that key is the loop direction. Loop direction is A, B, C, D, A, and the current direction is same. So in that we will see here ki the loop direction is A, B, C, D, A, and also current is moved from A to B. So what we have seen here? We have seen here the direction of loop as well as the direction of current is same. So for that case, the product of I and R, the product of I and R. So if you want to find its V, for that V is equal to IR, and its V comes out to what is I? I is I, what is R? R is 2, so it's not 2I. Again I am repeating, if the direction of loop and the direction of current is same, then the product of I and R is taken as positive. So here we are right here, the current move from A to B, also loop direction is A to B, so the product of resistance and current is taken as a positive. So I will write here 2I. Now one more point, also that your loop is from A to B, then B to C. So when your loop is moved from B to C, the loop hit the negative terminal of the battery. So when your loop hit the negative terminal of battery, the potential or the EMF of that cell is taken as negative. Means when your loop B to C, so when we move from B to C, your loop hit the negative terminal first. So when the loop hit the negative terminal, so the EMF of that cell is taken as a positive, and that is written on the right hand side. So I'm writing equal, what is the EMF of that? Minus 1.5. So that minus 1.5 your loop hit the negative terminal. Your loop hit the negative terminal. So EMF of that cell taken as a positive. What is its value? That plus 1.5. Now we move from C to D. Your current is coming here, and here is also we say that current I is there. So that current I, we move from C to D. We move from C to D, C to D, and your loop is also C to D. So product of that I and that 3 ohm resistance is again taken as a positive, because the direction of current and the direction loop is same. So that is plus 3I. Now next, now when we move from D to A, your loop move to D to A, so it hit the negative terminal of the battery. It hit the negative terminal battery, so the EMF of that cell taken as a positive. What is that EMF? That EMF is taken as positive 3. So now here comes out to be 3 plus 2, 5I is equal to, that is 1.5 plus 3, that is 4.5, and the I comes out to be 4.5 divided by 5 comes out to be 0.9. So in that way we will apply the Kirchhoff rule to find the value of V and I for a given circuit. We will discuss more example, and after in next video we will discuss more example, and you understood how Kirchhoff law is used to find the value of V and I. Now we discuss another example of Kirchhoff law. So this is given a question in which we have to find the value of I1, I2 and I3. Find the value of I1 and I2 and I3. The direction of I2, I1 and I3 is given in that diagram. So first of all you have to give the name of that. So if I will start from here, this is A, B, C, D, E, F. So we will give the name of that circuit, A, B, C, D, E, F. So first will you see here at point D. So at point D value, what will you observe? कि from here current comes out to be I1, here current comes I2, means यहाँ से current I1 आ रहा है, इधर से current I2 आ रहा है, और दोनों करंट इकट्ठे हो गया बना रहे हैं I3 बना रहे हैं. मींस फ्रॉम हियर इट इज क्लियर दैट कि I3 इज इक्वल टू I1 प्लस I2. सो दिस इज योर फर्स्ट इक्वेशन. अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग कि सी एट डी पॉइंट, I1 रीच एट डी पॉइंट and I2 is reach at D point. So apply the Kirchhoff first law. Amount of current enter to a point is equal to leave the point. So how much current leave the point? I3. How much current enter? I1 and I2. So this is I3 is equal to I1 plus I2. So now first we will choose loop A, B, C, D, A. So first you have to choose the loop. So first loop for loop A, B, C, D, A. So now we start the loop for A, B, C, D, A. So now we have to apply the Kirchhoff law. One point here is a resistance, that resistance equal to 3 ohm. So this is left, this is of 3 ohm. So first we apply the loop rule to the loop A, B, C, D, A. So now for point A to B, when we move from A to B, the direction of current is also A to B. So from here it is clear that the product of current and resistance taken as positive. When the direction of current and the direction of loop is same, the product of current and resistance taken as positive. So what its value? So it comes out to be 2I2. Clear? Now when we move from A to B, now we move from B to C. So when we move B to C, so our loop hit the positive terminal. So positive terminal of the cell. So when your loop hit the positive terminal cells, the EMF of that cell taken as negative. Means जब आपकी loop किसी भी सेल के पॉजिटिव टर्मिनल को हिट करेगी तो उसकी वैल्यू माइनस लिखनी है, और अगर किसी की भी सेल की नेगेटिव हिट करेगी तो उसकी वैल्यू पॉजिटिव लिखनी है. कौन साइड? on the right hand side. So if we take, this is the right hand side, this is the right hand side, that is of 10. So here loop hit the positive terminal, so that's it written as minus 10. Now after that, when we move from C to D, clear, we move C to D, so there is no register, so there is no use. Now when we move from D to A, so when we move from D to A, so in that case we are moving D to A, means loop move from D to A, but the current is moved from A to D, means the direction of current and direction of loop is opposite to each other. So at that time the product of current and resistance taken as a negative. Again I am repeating, जब हम D से A जा रहे हैं, लूप जा रही है D से A, लूप जा रही है D से A, लेकिन करंट आ रहा है A से D, means the direction of loop and direction of current is opposite to each other. So at that time the product of I and product of R is taken as a negative. So here comes out to be minus 3I1. So जब हम D से A गए, when we move from D to A, your loop hit the positive terminal of the cell. So when your loop hit the positive terminal, so the EMF of that cell taken as a negative and written on the right hand side. So here comes out to be minus 4. So here comes out to be 2I2 minus 3I1 is equal to minus 14. So this is your equation 2. Now we apply Kirchhoff loop rule on that. Now we apply on that. What is here? So we choose a loop. The loop is, what is loop? A D E F A. A D E F A. So now, so when we move from A to D, when you move from A to D, your loop hit the negative terminal. So जब किसी भी सेल की नेगेटिव टर्मिनल को आपकी लूप हिट करेगी तो उस सेल की EMF लिखनी है पॉजिटिव, कौन सी साइड? ऑन दी राइट हैंड साइड. So first your move from A to D hit the negative, so that equal to 4. Now also when you move from A to D, the current is also moving from A to D. So at that time the value of I and product of I and R taken as positive, means the current move from A to D and loop is also from A to D. So the product of I1 and 3 taken as positive and written on the left hand side. So that is 3I1. Now, so this is D to E, there is no register. Again E to F, no register, but this arm have current I3, so that also I3, and here also comes out to be current I3. So when we move from F to A, the direction of current is also from F to A, the loop is also F to A. So at that time the product of R and I taken as a positive. So here comes out to be plus I3. Why I3? Because 1 into my I3, that is I3. So here comes out to be 3I1 plus I3 equal to 4. This is your third equation. So now we have three equations. That is first equation, I3 is equal to I1 plus I2, and here is your 2I2 minus 3I1 is equal to minus 14, and the third one is 3I1 plus I3 is equal to 4. So if you want to solve it or simply put the value of I3, so this equation is in I1 and I2, this equation is I1 and I2, there is a I3. So make the two equations same. So we put here the value of I3. What is I3? I3 is equal to I1 plus I2. What is that equation? That equation is 3I1 plus I3. In place of I3 I will put I1 plus I2. Here comes out to be I1 plus I2 is equal to 4. So that is 4. So there is 4I1 plus I2 is equal to 4. So this is your equation number 4. This is your equation number 4. So now we have a fourth equation, and now see the equation number 2. This is minus 3I1 plus 2I2 is equal to minus 14. So now write here downside. So here is a minus 3I1 plus 2I2 is equal to minus 14. That is equation number 5. So now solve these equations. So you can solve easily. So multiply that equation by 2 and subtract it. So if you multiply 2, it comes out to be 8I1 plus 2I2 is equal to 8. Multiply that equation with 2. So that is 4 2s are 8I1, 2I2 4 2s are 8. Now downside, that is minus 3i1 plus 2i2 is equal to minus 40. So now subtract it. So if it is subtracted, that is plus, that is minus, that is plus. So this term cancel with each other. So now 8 plus 3, that is 11. I1 is equal to, here is 14 plus 8. What is 14 plus 8? 22. So here comes out to be 22. So I1 comes out to be 2 ampere. So I1 comes out to be 2 ampere. So now we have the value of I1. So if we put the value of I1 here, we can find the value of I2. So now 2I2 minus 3I1 is equal to minus 14. So now put the value of I1 here. So what is the I value? 2. So put 2 here. So 2I2 minus 3 into 2 is equal to minus 14. So 3 into 2, 6. So 2I2 is equal to, so that is minus 6 is equal to minus 14, and that 6 move on that side. So it will become 2I2 is equal to that 6 plus here, so minus 8 comes out to be minus 8. That 6 plus here, the 14 means 6 minus 8. So I2 comes out to be minus 8 divided by 2, and that is minus 4 ampere. Clear? Next, we want to find the value of I3. So I3 is equal to I1 plus I2. What is I2? That is 2. And what is this? This is minus 4. So put here. So what is I3? So I3 is equal to plus 2 minus 4. Plus 2 minus 4, that comes out to be minus 2 ampere. So what is the value of I1, I2? The I1 is 2 ampere. The I2 is minus 4 ampere. And the I3 is minus 2 ampere. So this is the one example of Kirchhoff law. There are the many questions we will discuss later on.